It's about that time, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for another episode of the Foolish Show podcast. I am your host, F to the Ish. That stands for Foolish, representing reality music entertainment. We got an early start today, y'all. So we're going to get it cooking early. This is the realest podcast you ever tune into because we talk about real life stuff. We don't just come here to gossip. Feed your mind, body, and soul. So make sure you come get some of this soul food. Make sure I got everything set up. And we're going to get this party started. The live chat is always open. Feel free to leave your comments. Hope y'all having a great week. Getting ready for the weekend. Almost Friday. Never good vibes in the air. That's what it's all about. Enjoying life and living life to the fullest. So tonight's podcast, we're going to talk about, we're living in this social media era where everything is big now online. How does social media affect the relationships? Can people be faithful? Can relationships last with all this social media? You got OnlyFans. You got a lot of stuff online, all these dating apps. How does that affect relationships? It's a lot of temptation. Can you fight the temptation? It depends on what kind of person you're dealing with. So we're going to get into it in a minute. The live chat is always open. Y'all leave your comments. Subscribe to this channel if you ain't already. Reality Music Entertainment. That's the channel. We got an early start today, y'all. We supposed to have been on last night, but we on right now. If you just tuning in, tonight's topic, with all this social media, and we living in a social media era, is it possible to be faithful? Is it possible for a relationship to last when it's so easy to cheat when you got social media? People at the fingertips. You can talk to somebody else at the press of a button. They're just an inbox away. So what does that leave relationships? It all starts on trust, but everybody's going to have complications and issues. It all depends on what kind of person you're dealing with. Can that person trust you or can you trust them? What's done in the dark will always come to the light. So if you're doing something eventually, it'll all come out. But with this social media era going on, it's easy now to cheat because there's so much temptation in your face. When you go online, you see half-naked ladies or all type of stuff. Men showing you their print, sending you their private part pictures. There's all type of stuff going on. Women sending videos. Everybody's wide open. So it makes it real hard for someone to be able to fight all that temptation. Temptation is not easy to fight, especially when you're weak. If you're vulnerable, then they can get you. But it depends what kind of person you're dealing with. That person is a cheater, they're a cheater. It's just in their nature. Some people just can't stay faithful. And social media just heightens that. It makes it convenient. If a woman can't be with one man, social media, that's like a buffet. If a man can't be with one woman, that's a buffet for him. But it all starts with trust. How much do you trust the person? How much do you love that person? Would you allow social media to destroy your relationship? The first rule when you're in a relationship with social media is don't tell all your business on them. You ain't got to tell everybody what's going on under your roof. If y'all having problems, y'all work it out. A lot of people like to run to the internet. Melissa says, hi, how you doing? You like to run to the internet with your problems. Tell all your business. Tokito says hi. I believe I'm saying that right. But if y'all just tuning in, hit that thumbs up button. We live streaming right now. We going out to an early start. Number of good vibes on here. We talk about real life stuff. And we're talking about how social media has an effect on relationships. A lot of relationships are made and lost on social media. Social media has broken up a lot of homes. But a lot of people have met their wife or their girlfriend, their boyfriend, or their husband online. So it's a good and bad. It gives people a place to network and interact, but then it can have you in a whole bunch of drama if you ain't careful. A whole bunch of screenshots, if you know what I'm talking about. But that's the era that we're living in. Melissa says, hi, bro. But that's the era that we're living in, folks. Everything is at the tip of your fingertips. So it's hard to put all your trust in anybody because you don't know what they're doing when they're not around you. And you don't know what they're doing on their phone. Their phone can have a lot of secrets. And you got to be careful of people that live all day long on social media because you got to wonder what has got her or his attention all the time. See, a lot of people try to be slick. So don't be nobody's fool. You got to peep game. Don't put nothing past nobody. I don't care how long y'all been talking, how long you been dating, how long you been married. We're living in a social media era where cheating is easy. It is a click away from getting somebody's number, or video chatting somebody, or meeting up, or sneaky linking. That's the era that we're living in. Think about it. Social media has broken up a lot of relationships. Are you confident enough to let your boyfriend or girlfriend go in your inbox? Or is it a lot of dirt that you hide? Sean O'Brien says, can you rap? Yes. It's a lot of dirt you might find if you go on your spouse inbox. Denise, I see you. Thanks for all the love, y'all. Keep dropping them comments. But can relationships last now with social media? Is it possible to be faithful to one person? Is it possible for you to lock in with that one person and be truly happy and being able not to get caught up and fight the temptation that's all online? It's everywhere. Dating apps, social media apps. There's at least 50 apps now where people can meet up. So you don't know what your spouse is doing in the dark. You don't know what your so-called sweetheart is doing in the dark. Or when they get mad, when a person getting their feelings, they might say, okay, I'm going to start entertaining other people. Now I'm going to start replying to these messages. They'd be vulnerable and they'd be weak. So if somebody come in the inbox selling them a dream or telling them all kind of sweet stuff, they might just fall for it. So you got to be careful in this generation that we're living in, because social media can destroy your love life if you allow it to. If you fall for the temptation and get caught up in the drama. Now, it's a good resource for networking. If you have businesses, if you do content, social media is cool. But relationship, you got to try to keep your relationship off social media. Because now you're going to have everybody's opinion trying to tell you what to do with your love life. When at the end of the day, they're not there. You're only sharing half of it. They don't know everything that's going on. Don't run and tell your problems all the time to the internet and put them in your personal life. That's how relationships get broken. Because these people gas you up. Ooh, girl, I was you. I would leave him. I wouldn't take that. Ooh, you. Ooh. Now you end up walking away. Then you regret it. You want the person back. And it might not ever get to where it used to be. So you got to live your life for you. Not for what all the other people say. Social media can destroy love lives if you allow it to. Because there's a lot of stuff that people doing in the dark. It's a lot of stuff in them DMs. And a lot of people that's in a relationship doing this stuff. There's a lot of married people got some secrets in them DMs. So you got to be careful nowadays when you dating anybody, especially if they got a social media. You don't know what secret they doing in the dark. You don't know who they sneaking off with. You don't know who they messaging. So it can get in the way of your love life if you allow it to. If you let and open the door and put everybody in your business, you asking for it. So be careful and be aware. Keep your love life private. It ain't everybody's business who you freaking, who you seeing, who you loving. That's between you and God and you and that person. Live your own life. But be careful. Like I'm telling you, we're living in a different era now. It is so easy to cheat because everybody's hooking up online. With the press of a button, you could be talking and chatting with somebody. You could be hooking up with somebody. And most of the people are already hooked up with somebody. So it's a lot of hooking up. Do y'all get what I'm trying to tell you? We're living in a society now where you got to be careful with the social media because everybody's sneaking and creeping and freaking. You can't put that past nobody. You think you got the most faithfulest person in the world and you check their DMs, your heart might be broken. Or what they doing in the dark. What they saying to other people behind your back. This is a new era that we're living in. This is the social media era. AI is taking over. Everything is screaming and going virtual. So a lot of our time is caught up online. A lot of hours go by in the day keeping up with everything online. But don't let social media destroy your love life. That's why you don't tell all your business. It ain't everybody's business what you got going on. Even if y'all going through stuff, y'all work on that behind closed doors. When you expose that, you opening the door for negativity and for people to try to come in and break you up. Because people might have something good to say, but a lot of people gonna have a lot of bad stuff to say. And then they're gonna encourage you to cheat or do this. I would do that. I would walk away. I find somebody better. I sleep with his friend. They give you some crazy advice. So you don't gotta listen to everybody. Live your own life. That's what it's all about. Y'all excuse me for 1 second. Let me grab this charger. I'm back, folks. But back to what we were saying. Can relationships last nowadays without social media? When you got people that got OnlyFans, showing everything and doing everything, selling their content, selling their videos, can you be able to trust someone? Would you be able to give your heart to somebody nowadays when you got all this stuff going on online? Everybody sneaking, freaking, and linking. So what does that leave true love? Does true love still exist? Can a relationship make it a long, long time like it used to back in the day? Nowadays, everybody know everything because we putting it online. We showing them everything we do, everybody we talking to. So a lot of strangers know a lot about you without even meeting you because you're putting all your information, who you sexing, who you with every day, you're putting it right in their face. So they don't have to investigate to find out what you got going on. So you have to be careful with all that. Who you're allowing in your household, in your love life, in your personal life. What you're doing behind closed doors. Who you loving. Who you seeing. A lot of times when you take it to the internet, that's when the negativity comes in. Because it's going to have somebody that's going to stir up something negative. They're going to have something negative to say. Everybody ain't going to be, oh, I'm so happy for you. Oh, that's so sweet. Everybody ain't going to be like that. Some people are going to be jealous. They're going to feel like I ain't got the love of my life. I don't want to see or hear about yours. You can't think everybody have a good heart because everybody ain't the same. Everybody ain't built the same. It depends on what kind of person you're dealing with. Can you be able to trust that person? Can you trust that person to do right by you, even when you're not around? It's one thing to be good when I'm around you. What if I'm not around you? Can I trust you not to be sneaking and creeping? Especially when you got the internet. The internet makes it easy. There's so much temptation. As soon as you jump online, it's right in your face. You can't miss it. Everybody half naked, selling nasty videos, selling their content. You got fellas trying to show y'all they print ladies and got their shirts off. So there's so much temptation right there in your face. Can you fight that temptation if you already got somebody? Or would you give in? Would you say, you know what? Let me try this. Let me see what this person about. My man ain't gonna find out, or my woman ain't gonna know. A lot of times we think we're being sneaky, and then we end up in a whole big old mess. In a whole bunch of drama. Because what's done in the dark always comes to the light. So what we're doing in the dark eventually is going to get exposed. Whether you're doing it online or real life. All somebody got to do is screenshot something. Send something to somebody else. And there you go. Now here comes a whole bunch of drama. I see people all the time going back and forth about a man, about a woman online. You wasting your time. Why arguing on the internet over a person that's going to do whatever they want to do? Don't make no sense. You can't make a grown woman or a grown man do nothing. If they're going to cheat, they're going to cheat. And they're going to find a way to do it. If they're going to be a hoe, they're going to be a hoe. Some people is in their nature. You got to take it for what it is. You got to learn a person when you're dealing with. You got to know what you're dealing with. What kind of person are they? Are they a manipulator? Are they a liar? Are they scandalous? Are they trifling? You need to find out the dirt. Everybody just ain't all spotless. Everybody got blemishes. Do y'all understand what I'm trying to tell you? So we got to be careful in this social media era. A lot of relationships is getting broken up through the internet because there's a lot of things that's being sneakily done online. People are sneaky and hooking up on the low. They cheating on their husband on the low. They cheating on their wife on the low. Yo, God told you it goes down in the DM. You don't know what your wife or your man is sending to another person. They could be living double lives. One life in real life and another one online. They could be acting single online, but taken in real life. But if you take it in real life, you should act taken online. You shouldn't be acting single. Out of respect for whoever you with. You shouldn't be craving all this attention. If you got a man and you happy, if you got a woman and you happy, you shouldn't want all this attention. You shouldn't be looking thirsty. You shouldn't be setting all these thirst traps. Ladies, y'all know what y'all be doing. And you know us men, we weak. When we see flesh, we want to attack. That's like getting some raw meat and wave it in front of the lion's cage and open the door of the cage and don't expect the lion to attack that meat. If you put that meat in front of a beast, they're going to want to eat. So as men, that's nature. So you got to be careful how you carry yourself. Be careful what you're presenting online. Because remember, online is where everybody's going to find out information about you. Uncle Joe says, my wife has a track on my phone. She knows where I am at, and I know where she's at. That's respect there. Y'all have that understanding, and y'all have that trust where you ain't got nothing to hide. So Uncle Joe, I respect that. As long as everybody on the same page. You got to have respect for each other. If y'all doing something serious and you're in a serious relationship, you owe each other that respect. Not to play with each other's heart and time. Nobody wants their time to be played with. Time is valuable. Michelle says, that's right. So if y'all just tuning in, hit that thumbs up button on YouTube. This is The Foolish Show. And we live streaming on Kick, Facebook, and YouTube. Tonight's topic, can relationships last with all this social media, with all this online activities? You got all these dating sites. You don't know, your spouse could have 5 secret profiles on different dating sites, and you have no idea. And they just sneaking and talking to people and hooking up with people behind your back. You can't put that past nobody nowadays. With all this technology, it's too easy to creep and cheat. Somebody can catch you at the right time and get your attention. You might fall weak for that temptation because it's temptation all over the internet. It's people naked and sexing and doing everything on the internet. So can you fight that temptation? That's what you got to ask yourself. Everybody ain't the same. And everybody don't cheat. Everybody won't cheat. It depends on what kind of person you're dealing with. That's why you got to make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. Know who you dating. Know their tendencies, their traits. Do they have it in them to be faithful? Or are they just playing around and wasting your time? Can relationships last in this new generation of all this online activity? Can you trust your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your wife, your husband with all this stuff going on online, with all this social media, with all these apps where you can hook up and do whatever you want to do? Would you be able to trust somebody nowadays? Would you have trust enough, even if they had all these social media apps? Would you trust them? Would you be able to fall in love with somebody who's constantly online, who's constantly seeking attention from the internet? Can you be able to take that? How much would that affect you? Would you be able to build a life with a woman or a man who's always on the internet, setting thirst traps, begging for attention? Would you be able to put up and deal with that? This is what you got to ask yourself. Nowadays, it's so easy to cheat with social media. A lot of relationships ain't working out. They're not lasting long. Because the trust and the true love ain't there no more. Everybody's just doing what they want to do. And they have no shame. People sleep with somebody close to you and won't have no shame for it. They'll sleep with your wife or your husband and won't have no shame and will smile in your face. We live in an era where nobody has no more shame of what they do. And they don't even hide it online. If you look at some of the posts, people will post some of anything. And the later they get, the nastier they get. The freaks do come out at night. The stuff I see at nighttime, whoa. So we living in an era where anything goes. But can relationships last now in this social media era? Can it last for a long time? Would you be able to trust that person that you with? Or would you constantly be thinking about what they doing, how they doing, and who they doing it with? Would you be able to take people leaving them certain type of comments? Would you be able to take all that stuff? Or would it cause problems? Would it bring friction into your love life? Social media can destroy relationships if you allow it. If you put all your business online and listening to all those other people, it can backfire on you. Because some people be jealous and they don't want to see others happy. So when you posting all this happy stuff and you smooching and you got your person with you, it's somebody mad. It's somebody that despises that because they ain't got that. Will Deal says, tap in, I got you for life. I appreciate you, Will Deal. If y'all just tuning in, man, we live streaming right now on Kick, Facebook, and YouTube. Spread the word. Let everybody know. Y'all check in right now. We got about another 30 more minutes. Tonight's topic: can relationships last now with this social media era? Or everybody's just playing around and not being serious? Is true love dead? Is everybody just playing around? Has social media made it so easy for everybody to link up and hook up where you won't even be able to trust nobody? Justin, I see you checking in, bro. We're living in a different era now. It's easy to cheat right at the tip of your fingers as long as you got a social media. Somebody can always give you their number, or y'all can call each other in video chat. Whether you got a man or not, whether you got a girl or not. So how much trust do y'all have in this relationship is what you got to ask yourself. Can you be able to trust each other to resist temptation when it come your way? When all these men telling you you're so beautiful, baby, ooh, I will spoil you, ooh, I will eat you like a pound cake, and all this other stuff. Are you strong enough to say, I love my man, and I'm not going to pay that no attention? Or are you going to fall for the okie dokie? Are you going to fall for the game and jeopardize what you already have? These are the things you got to ask yourself. Some things might sound good. Well, are they good? Everything that's sweet ain't good for you. And everything that glitter ain't gold. You never know what you're getting yourself into. People will appear to be something and then turn out to be the opposite. You got to know what you're dealing with. Who you talking to? You think you done found the love of your life, and they can end up being your worst enemy once you see their true intentions. Some people try to come in your life just to use you. Some people come in your life just to bring you pain and heartache. They really don't love you. They were just putting on a front. Would you be able to trust people like that? Would you be able to give your heart to anybody? Or are you stingy with your love? Are you stingy with your time? Got to be careful out here. In this era, you can't put that past nobody. It's too easy to cheat. It's too easy to DM and inbox. It's too easy to swipe. But if you got you somebody good, then you don't have to worry about that if you know that person you can trust. But you know what you're dealing with. You know what kind of man or woman you have. If they have cheating tendencies, you should be on your toes. Especially if they done did it in the past. What makes you think they're going to stop? So you never know what goes down in the DM. You never know who's sneaking and freaking. You never know who's inboxing your man, your baby daddy, your husband, your wife. You never know what they saying back. Are they entertaining it? Are they listening? Think about it. Then you got OnlyFans. What if you found out your girlfriend has an OnlyFans? Y'all been together for years. She never told you that she's online showing all her business. But she gonna say, but I'm making money though, babe. I'm getting paid. It's the principle. A man want to feel like that's mine, not the whole world. That's supposed to be for me and for my eyes only. If you my woman or my lady, if you wifey, the whole world don't supposed to see your goodies. I don't care how much money they got. I don't care how much money they offer you. See, that's why I say nowadays people don't have no shame for what they do. Back in the days, they'd have been ashamed of doing all that stuff. They'll be ashamed of sleeping on their husband. They'll be ashamed to sleep around for money. Now they put it on a pedestal. They celebrate it. Because people ain't got no more shame of what they do. That's why you don't see too many serious relationships. You don't see too many marriages now, and you don't see them last for a long time like great grandma and grandma them, because everybody's just playing around. It ain't no true commitment. Social media just got it where the world is at your fingertips, and everybody's just doing any and everything, especially for money. How much money is worth your heart and your love? How much money is worth your time? Will you sell your soul for anything? Or would you stand up for something? These are the things you got to ask yourself. Social media is destroying a lot of relationships because people is sneaking and doing a lot of stuff. Everybody wants all the attention, whether you have somebody or you don't. Even when you got somebody, you still want attention. You still want all eyes on you. You still want all the compliments. You still want all the flirting. What happened to respect? You got to respect the person that you with. If you with somebody, then act like it while you're online. Don't get online and act like I'm single, like you single, doing single stuff. Now you being disrespectful to the person you with, even if it's just online. Even if you say, well, I ain't touched nobody, I ain't meet up. It's the principle. When you with somebody, y'all representing each other. That's like a spit in the face to the person that you with. It's disrespectful. If you got somebody, then be respectful and carry yourself a certain way. Erica says true. You shouldn't be making your booty clap if you got your man in there in the room. You shouldn't be making twerking videos all day if you got a ring on your finger. Fellas, if you got a wife at the house, you shouldn't be in everybody's DM. You shouldn't be trying to poke everything that's walking if you got a woman to the house. If you wanted to live that life, then you shouldn't have got married. Stay single and you can mingle. But this social media era has made it wide open for everybody to do any and everything. Can you trust people nowadays? Would you be able to trust your spouse to not to accept and fall for the temptation that's right at the fingertip? You got to look in the mirror. If you want true love, then there's certain things that you must do. You got to carry yourself a certain way and have high standards for yourself. Don't allow social media or nothing else to make you degrade yourself. You got to have high standards for your life, especially for your love. You shouldn't be willing to accept any and everything. I hope y'all listening. Because social media can be a blessing and it can be a curse. A lot of people have lost the love of their life because of social media, because they were sneaking and doing stuff online. They came back to bite them. You got to be able to trust the person that you with to know they're not going to do nothing to make you look stupid. They're not going to jeopardize what y'all have. They're not going to take the bait. No matter how many dudes or how many women throwing themselves at them, you know for a fact they still going to hold you down and they're going to fight that temptation. That's when you'll know that you got something special. Find you somebody that's going to be committed, willing to be there for you through the good and the bad times. A person that ain't trying to keep you a secret either. If you love your man, you should show him off. If you love your woman, you should show her off. Do nice things for them. Make them feel appreciated. Or you're going to get all those people online that's going to make them feel appreciated. What you won't do, somebody will. If somebody somewhere will take that torch from you. It's all about keeping each other happy. Finding you a companion that you can trust. Whether they got social media or not, you know they're not going to feed into that temptation. You know they ain't sneaking and doing nothing because they barely be on there. They barely even pay attention to their social media. Because it's hard with all that temptation that's online for somebody to just be faithful and not talk to nobody. Not try to sneak with nobody. Not try to lay with nobody's wife or husband. And you might not even know it. Because most of the time, people ain't going to tell you they're married. And then you find out after the fact. So you never know what you're coming across or what you're meeting online. People tell a lot of lies online. They'll tell you anything to try to get close to you. It's up to you to take the bait. It's up to you to take the bait. So if you got something good, act like it. Carry yourself like it. Value that good man or that good woman. Show them respect, whether it's in real life or online. Carry yourself a certain way. You shouldn't be acting single when you got a man. You shouldn't be acting single when you got a woman. When you're online, you still carry yourself a certain way. Because why do you want certain type of attention if you're so happy and you got somebody? Why certain attention you still crave it? That's fishy. That's sneaky. That's a red flag. Give me somebody I can trust, whether I'm around or not around. I ain't got to worry about what's in your phone because I know your demeanor and how you carry yourself. I ain't got to worry about it. The love you show me, I am secure. And that's the standard y'all should hold for yourself. You can't just trust anybody you meet, especially if you meet them online. You don't know what you're talking to. People can say anything. They can tell you any name, any age. They can make up all type of aliases. You don't know who you're really talking to. You don't even know how they really look, because that might not even be their pictures. You're going to be talking to a whole nother different person. They done stole somebody's picture, and you think you talking to this person, and you don't got catfish. A lot of these dating apps will be setting you up. You know what you meet? You can mess around and meet a serial killer. That's why you better know what you're dealing with. You got to be sure what kind of person you're dealing with. Especially when you're dealing with online. Y'all hit that thumbs up button. We live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Kick. Y'all know how we get down. I feed your mind, body, and soul. Tonight's topic: can relationships last with all this social media? Can couples stay together when you got all these dating apps, all these social media sites where everybody flirting with each other, everybody mingling and dingling? How much would you be able to trust a person that you just met? Would you trust them enough to give them your heart? Or would you be afraid of being let down? Would you be afraid of all the skeletons they probably hiding in their closet? How would you react if you able to look at all their messages in their DMs? We don't know what goes on behind closed doors. You don't know what goes on in the dark. But eventually, it will all come to the light. Eventually, everything will be exposed. Whether you're doing it online or you're doing it in real life, it will come out. So carry yourself a certain way if you care about the person you with. If you're serious about your relationship, be serious online too. Don't get online and act like you single. That's disrespectful to the person that you with. Then you got this man and woman looking crazy because they be like, dang, I thought they was in a relationship, but every time I look around, they half naked. They man go for that. They woman go for that. That's embarrassing. You're embarrassing the person that you with. Because it makes it seem like you ain't got no respect for who you talking to. They'll allow you to do any and everything and won't put you in check. A real man gonna check you. You're not gonna disrespect me and try me. I'm not gonna put my hands on you, but I gotta check you. Because it's all about respect. If you want respect, you gotta give it. You do unto others as you want done unto you. Treat people how you want to be treated. Ladies, if you want to be treated like a queen, then you got to carry yourself like one. Fellas, if you want to be treated like a king, you got to carry yourself like one. You can't act like one thing and want to be treated like another. That don't add up. That don't go together. Two wrongs don't make a right. You got to be careful, especially in this era of social media. Be careful who you dating. You better be able to trust them. They better be strong enough to fight all that temptation. All them dudes online, all them women online. Because everybody got a social media. So anybody can fall victim to it. All they got to do is catch you on your worst day. And somebody come blow your head up. Now here you is. Don't gave your number to another person. And you in a relationship. Now it start from small talk to booty talk. It's just that easy. It's not hard. So can relationships last in this generation? Are we going to see marriages going 20 and 30 years? I see it going the other way. Because everybody's just doing what they want to do. It ain't no more true love. Ain't too many people trying to be faithful. Ain't too many people really committed like that to each other. Everybody just put a little title on it, but still living and doing what they want to do. With no shame. Be careful with this internet. It can destroy a lot of relationships. It can destroy something that you work hard to build because you get caught up in so much drama. Next thing you know, everybody is posting and recording and going back and forth at each other. Now it's a whole bunch of drama and you got everybody watching in the comments. You got everybody looking. It's just that simple. Keep your business private Keep your love life private. It ain't everybody's business who you sexing, who you loving on. If they make you mad, you ain't got to tell the world. If y'all mad at each other, you don't have to advertise. Because people ain't going to do nothing but put gasoline on the fire. They're not going to try to help you. They're not going to give you no positive advice. You got to think for yourself. Can you trust people nowadays with this social media? Can you trust your wife not to inbox no other man? Can you trust your husband not to inbox another woman? Can you trust them when you ain't around? Can you trust them not to make an OnlyFans? Can you trust them to not be having secret profiles on dating sites, still acting like they single and trying to hook up with people on the side? But they supposed to be yours. Y'all supposed to be in a relationship. See, now you're playing with people's heart and emotions. If you want to be single, then end the relationship. Don't play with people's emotions and their heart. That's when things go left. Have some respect for that person's feelings. Tell them what it is. Hey, listen, I used to like you, but I don't feel it like that no more. I think we should separate and see other people. It's better to keep it real than to be fake. Stringing people along, wasting their time. When you know you ain't serious about it, you know you don't truly love them, you wasting their time. You wasting their life. Nobody deserves that. Don't be afraid to find love. Don't be afraid of love, period. Love is a good thing when it's real. But you got to know the real from the fake. You got to know what you're dealing with. What kind of person. They could just be tricking you. It could have just been playing mind games with you. And you fell for it. You thought you had somebody special. You thought you had something real. But then all their skeletons came out. All their dirt came out the closet. All their dirty laundry got aired. Now you see what you were dealing with. Now you see that that person wouldn't even worth your time. Because if they did, they wouldn't be doing the things they was doing behind your back. They wouldn't be entertaining them people online. If you got something good and you love it, you try your best not to mess it up. See, the internet can get you to crash out quick. You can mess up your whole life and relationship all on the internet. You never know who's on the internet. So be careful who you meeting, who you allowing in your life. People are put on a disguise. They got a mask on and you don't even know what you're dealing with. You thinking this person one way and they're another. Can you deal with that? What kind of person are you? Are you faithful? Do you have a good heart? Can someone trust you with their heart? Do you know how to be loyal and build something special with somebody? Do you know how to be their heartbeat and not their heartache? Do you know how to lift them up and make them feel good, not bad? It's a lot of temptation and a lot of different things on the internet. So nowadays, we got to be careful. You don't know what you're dealing with. You might think you found the love of your life, and they're doing all type of stuff in the dark to break your heart. They sneaking behind your back, not caring about your feelings. They talking to Tom, Dick, and Harry online. And you sitting home thinking you got you a good woman or a good man. Never be nobody's fool. You only got one life, and you should choose your happiness over everything. Don't let nobody walk all over you. You don't have to take nobody's bull crap. If they don't respect you in real life or online, then why are you giving that person your heart and your time? It's all about respect. Social media can destroy your relationship if you let it, because everybody's going to have an opinion. You put all your dirt on there, now the whole world knows that your relationship is shaky, that you and your man or your woman is fighting. Keep that private. Y'all work that out with each other like adults. When you let the internet in, you asking for problems. That's how a lot of relationships don't last long. Everybody want to take everything to the internet. But can relationships last long? Can they survive with all this social media? With all these dating apps and hooking up sites? Who can you trust? Who can you marry? Is there wifey material out there? Is there somebody that you even consider to be your husband? You're the only one can answer that question, because we all have our own life to live. Nobody can tell you who to love. Nobody can tell you who to be with. That's your decision. You decide on how much you want to put up with and deal with. But you don't have to deal with nothing that you don't want to. We choose to put up with certain things. Can relationships last? Can relationships make it now with all this social media? With all this stuff that's going on? With all this freaking and cheating and creeping? Do you got somebody right now that you really can trust? Will that person give you all their passwords to their social media because they know they ain't got nothing to hide? How many of y'all can say that 100% sure about it? Are you willing to put your life on it that you ain't gonna find nothing? Be careful. You might get your heart broke. You might be terrified of all the stuff you might see. You don't know what people do in the dark or when they ain't around you. But I appreciate y'all, man. We had another great podcast tonight. Make sure you always check me out. You can rewatch all my podcasts on YouTube. The YouTube channel is Reality Music Entertainment. Catch me on the radio every Friday night, worldwide. 2 radio stations, 24/7. They play 24/7 a day, every day on Fridays. You can catch me once a week on Fridays on the block 105.3.com, and socialradio.com. You can catch me in those two stations every Friday night. I appreciate y'all, man. Make sure y'all check back in with me. Support the movement. If you want some of our official merchandise, we got a new apparel available. So if y'all want the official Foolish Show hat, t-shirts, hoodies, socks, you name it, we got it. So go ahead and do your little shopping. Go to Teespring, T-T-T-E-E spring.com/reality creator. Go ahead and place your orders at teespring.com reality creator. That's the official reality music entertainment merchandise. We got all new apparel. I got 30% off right now, y'all. Place your orders. I appreciate all the love and support. Y'all stay safe.